Exponents are very simple. You just multiply a number by itself. Let's have a look. When we want to multiply a number by itself, it can be very cumbersome to write out. In our example, we've got 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Oh, we're going to write forever. When we use exponents, we don't have to write it out like that. We can use an exponent to tell us how many times we want to multiply the number by itself. In our example, we wanted to multiply 2 by itself 6 times. And we saw that we can write it in a different way to make it a little bit shorter. We could say 2 to the power of 6, like we've got on the screen right here. Like everything in math, everything has a name, and both of these numbers have certain names. The first one is the base number. That's the number 2 and the number that we wanted to multiply by itself. The next thing is the exponent, and that's that little 6 at the top, which told us or showed us that we are going to multiply 2 by itself 6 times. A Greek mathematician called Euclid discovered the concept of exponents when he noticed that the area of a square is equal to a single side times itself. Remember, the area of a rectangle, or a square for that matter, is the length times the breadth. While in the case of a square, both sides are the same length. So we can write it as s times s, or side times side, which, as we just learned, we can also write as s squared. Now in our example, we've got a square that's 5 blocks long and 5 blocks wide. So we can write it as 5 squared, yes. 5 times 5, or 5 multiplied by 5, is 25. Now we've got another name for this 25. We call this 25 a square number, because we can make a perfect square with that number. We can make a square whose length is 5 and the breadth is 5. We just saw in the previous example that the square number is a number that equals another number multiplied by itself. We had a square of 25 blocks, and each side was 5 blocks in length. 5 multiplied by 5 equal 25. The number that we multiplied by itself, 5 in this case, to get a square number is called the square root of the square number. And we've got a special symbol for the square root that looks like this. Remember that whenever you see the square root symbol, you are looking for the number that, if multiplied by itself, will equal the number under the square root symbol. For example, the square root of 25 will be 5, because 5 multiplied by 5 equals 25. Let's have a look at the square root symbol again. Remember that the square number will be underneath the square root symbol. Just like a square number that have equal sides, a cube has equal sides. When calculating the volume of a cube, one multiplies the length, breadth, and depth of the cube. As all the sides are the same, we can multiply any of the sides by itself 3 times. That means that the base will be equal to the length of the side, and the exponent will be 3. The product of a number with an exponent of 3 is called a cube number. Let's have a look at our example. Here we've got a cube whose length, breadth, and depth are all 5 blocks. So we can write it as 5 to the power of 3, or 5 cubed. 5 cubed means 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5, and the product is 125 blocks. This means that we can build a perfect cube with all sides equal with 125 blocks. We've got a special name for a number like that can build a perfect cube. We call that a cube number. 125 is a cube number because we can build a perfect cube of one side 5, another side 5, and another side 5 blocks. Remember we said that a cube number is a number that equals another number multiplied by itself and multiplied by itself again. Our cube had 125 blocks inside, and each side was 5 blocks long. It was 5 by 5 by 5. Now the cubed root is the number that is multiplied by itself and multiplied by itself again to equal the cube number. To indicate the cube root, a square root symbol is used with a small 3 written on the top left of the symbol as shown here. So remember, whenever you see the cube root symbol, you are looking for the number that, if multiplied by itself 3 times, will equal the number under the cube root symbol. For example, the cube root of 125 must be 5, because 5 multiplied by 5 is equal to 125. So we've got the cube root symbol with a little 3 at the top, and then we've got the cube number under the cube root symbol. I really hope this has helped you with your exponents, the basics of exponents. We're going to have a couple of more videos with all the laws of exponents. It gets really fun later on. Remember to practice, practice, practice until you're sure that you understand the concept fully. We've got worksheets available at charteducation.com, and we also have a blog at blog.charteducation.com. You're more than welcome to join. Please do join there by the blog site, and you can leave some comments and questions, and we'll try our best to answer all of them. Good luck.